Hello fight fans and welcome back to a new video. This card delivered some very interesting fights and some nice finishes. And before we start, if you are new to my channel, feel free to subscribe and push the like button. Now, let's start to talk about the walk-off KO victory from Sean OMalley. Sean came into this fight as a huge favorite and delivered a first round KO as he promised. Sean was just too fast for Eddie and his timing and eyes are exceptional. This fight reminded me of the fight between Conor and Dennis Seaver, where the younger, faster and more technical fighter is just too much for the older veteran. Sean with the karate stance was moving a lot on the outside and were constantly feinting to get a reaction from Eddie, and as soon as Eddie threw something, then Sean immediately answered with a counter shot and was always beating Eddie to the punch. Eddie, being the tough fighter he is, were trying to press and make the read of what Sean would do, but was just too slow and predictable for Sean, and the KO were beautiful. How he faked the uppercut and threw the cross were just perfection. If I were the matchmakers, I would give either Marlon Vera or Song Yadong to Sean, and be careful not to give him a top 10, which could be too much too soon for Sean OMalley. Speaking of KOs, the knockout of Cody Garbrandt was incredible, but what impressed me the most was the performance from Cody. Like I predicted on my prediction video, I felt that Cody made the right move when he started to work with coach Mark Henry. Cody was very composed, calm, and kept it technical and relied much more on his footwork than he has done his last fights. And in my opinion, when Cody fights like this is when he is the best version of himself, and I was glad to see him win after the 3 terrible losses. The speed of Cody was too much for Rafael, and he was constantly feinting and Rafael could not figure things out and struggled a lot with the speed advantage that Cody had. I really like the Cody 2.0, and as long as Cody fights smart and technical, I feel that he can get his belt back because he is just that good. The fight between Magny and Rocco Martin was okay. Martin started good but faded away during the last round where Neil picked up the pace, and that final round was in my opinion what won the fight for Neil. I did not agree with the 2 judges that gave all 3 rounds to Neil. 29-28 was fair. Neil looked good and his cardio is just insane. He never gets tired, and I was a bit surprised by his output in the 2 first rounds, because he usually fights at a much higher pace, but in the last round he turned his output up a lot. I although felt watching the fight that I would like to see Neil put a little bit more power in some shots, and I know that his style is the touch style, but sometimes you have to put a little bit of power to be able to hurt your opponents, because Martin were gassing out but he was never really hurt, and when Neil felt that Martin was gassing out, I would have liked to see him trying to finish the fight using more power. Martin was really strong in the clinch, and he should have tried to get the fight to the ground much more, especially when Neil started to find his range in the last round. Neil should in my opinion fight a ranked fighter next. The high anticipated bantamweight fight between Aljamain Sterling and Corey Sandhagen was a short contest, and I would like to see much more of that fight, but fair play to Aljo of getting it done so quickly. As soon as the fight started, Aljo pressed Corey immediately to the fence and made it very uncomfortable for Corey. Corey tried to move away from Aljo, but Aljo closed the distance very fast and ended up taking his back and taking the fight to the ground. As soon as Aljo took his back and had that body triangle, then I felt that it was going to be over sooner or later. Aljo did a very good job of getting the choke, and Corey tried his best to get out of it, but Aljo showed some high-level ground game. This fight will probably earn Aljamain Sterling the title shot next, and rightfully so. In the main event, we saw a really one-sided contest. Amanda was all over Felicia and was just better everywhere. Felicia showed some tremendous heart, but really did not have any answer for the striking or grappling presented by Amanda. I feel that Amanda is just too good, and there is no one out there that can really match her, despite Valentina Shevchenko, which she has already beaten twice. Amanda was just stronger and faster, and won every round and every exchange without leaving any doubts. Props to Felicia for surviving the whole 5 rounds, and I think she has to work a bit more on her strength and conditioning and her striking. Her grappling is good, but she was never close to ending up on top of Amanda. This card was really fun to watch, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Subscribe and push the like button. Until next time.